Good morning everyone. Today we are fitting off a brand new 200 XCB to this engine. It's a brand new Fish Pro 21. Customer dropped it in. He's bought one of our demonstrator engines. So we're going to fit it off today and we're going to put brand new rigging inside. We're going to run a CL5, concealed side mount, all digital digital controls, but with built-in hydraulic steering. So watch us while we go through the journey of fitting off this new engine. All right, so now what we've done is we've drilled the holes into the transom plate here, because obviously when they're brand new, they don't actually have the holes in them. So these are the holes here. And then we put a board in between that just so we can stop the new engine from touching the aluminium. So that'll go here, and then we'll bolt the new engine to this whole assembly here. The other thing that we do throughout the process is always covering and protecting the customer's boat. So not only does it protect any swarf and everything that might end up falling on the floor and then stepping on it and pushing it into the flooring, but it just protects all the paintwork and everything like that while we're fitting it off. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually fitting the fitting into the side of the boat here, which is where all the rigging tube comes out, all the hoses for fuel, battery, the harness, the whole lot. So that'll go in here. A nice big tube will come out of there, connect to the engine, and that's what carries all of the internal wiring. Alright, so as you can see, we've now ripped the demonstrator engine off one of our demo boats, and we've now mounted it to our customer's boat here. So the next process is that we'll put our bottom bolts in. We'll make sure everything's sealed as well. Even though it's an aluminium boat, you've still got to make sure everything's sealed, we don't take on water. And then we'll start doing all of our rigging. So we'll start putting all the harnesses through and putting battery cable, fuel line, all that sort of stuff. And we'll start hooking up the engine and then we'll go inside and start putting all the dash work in, meaning all the screen, which is getting a CL5 and a concealed side mount digital control. So we'll go through that journey next, and then we'll put it all together. We'll put the laptop on, and then we'll make sure everything's talking to each other, because we have to get the engine and the controls to talk to each other. If we don't, then we don't have any communication, and we won't go in and out of gear or put any revs up or anything, and it'll just throw alarms at us. So once we've done all that, then we can go out and water test the boat and then hand it back over to our customer. But for the time being, this is bolted on and we'll start on the rigging. All right, so we've got the engine all bolted onto our customer's engine. So now all of our rigging's arrived. So I'm just going to go through our rigging that we've got. So just some of the most common ones. Obviously we've got our main battery cable that will be fed through all the rigging tube. Our main harness, 16-pin harness, that carries all of our information from our engine right up to the dash. It gives us data on our screen, be able to turn it on and off, and shifting in and out of gear. Pretty basic setup, but we've just got our Yamaha key switch, which will go into the dashboard. And then we've got our concealed side mount here. So this one here, this is the digital model. We've got a few functions on it. We've obviously got our trim. We've got our speed controller up and down here. We've got our station button, neutral hold, and our trim assist. So trim assist is when we can put it into gear, and as we're putting it into gear and giving it throttle, what it allows it to do is the engine will actually raise and trim to its optimum position, and then when you're backing out of the throttle, it'll actually drop the engine back down as well. So you don't effectively have to touch the trim system, but what you can do is adjust it along the way, and it will automatically go up and down. And obviously we need to be able to see some data. So here's our CL5 screen. It hasn't been opened yet, so you can see it's got it here. And there's our little 5-inch screen. It's a little Garmin screen made for Yamaha. It's a full touch screen. That gives us all of our data that we need for those for our engine, problem codes, all sorts of stuff. So very well worth having a little screen like that in your boat. All right, so I've just cut all the holes out for some of the rigging that we're going to be fitting into this boat. So we've got our hole up here for our gauge. So that's our CL5 gauge here, which is this little beauty, full touch screen. So this will all slide into here like so. So then we can see what's going on with our RPM, fuel, temperatures, all that sort of stuff as well. The other hole I've cut down here, which is an odd shaped hole, but this is for our concealed side mount controller. And I'll just grab that. And basically this is what happens here. This is our controller here. So there it is there. We'll put the cables in like so. And that just pushes into the side there like that. And that's how we get our controller sitting nicely and it's at the right height. So we always sit on the seat, try and get a an understanding of the height that it needs to be at for when we fit them off. So it's nice and comfortable when we're driving the boat. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure the screen and the controller, and then I'm going to run all the harnesses, the main computer system, down to the engine, and then I'll start rigging up the engine with all that gear, and then we'll get a start out of the engine. Alright, so now we've done all of our rigging up the front. We've put our CL5 in, we've put our concealed side mount in, we've put our key switch in. We've ran all of our steering hoses down the back, which you can see here, which I'm just about to mount that fitting. And we've got all of our hoses and our battery cable and our main harness sticking out the side of the boat here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start rigging up the engine, fitting all that off. I'll finalise all the cabling and pull everything in nice and tight so it flows freely when we're steering. Connect the fuel line inside the boat. And then we'll do a final setup on the engine, plug the laptop in, make sure everything talks, and then we'll get a start out of the engine. Alright, so we're down at Rye Pier. We've just been out and concluded our water testing. So when we go out and water test, we just check for speed, we check for our RPM, make sure our RPM's meeting our range. On this particular engine, it's between 5,000 and 6,000 RPM, so we want to make sure we're in that band. We go out and test all our steering and all that sort of stuff as well. So everything's been come up really, really well this afternoon. As you can see, it's a beautiful day down here at Rye on the Mornington Peninsula. So yeah, listen, if you're interested in a brand new engine, or you want to know some more about this particular boat or our fit ups and things that we do with all of our Helmmaster and things like that, just come down and give us a call, 5986 7788, or check out our website on rmmarine.com.au, see what we've got to offer and come down.